Hello, everyone. I'm Armando Perez, Chair of United Way of Greater Houston's Board of Trustees. As much as we wish we could be together to talk about all we accomplished this past year and to celebrate our Volunteer of the Year, we're glad to be together today virtually. We appreciate you joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in person again very soon. We will share a few brief highlights today, but I do hope you'll take the time to read the depth and breadth of our accomplishments in United Way's annual report, which highlights the year from April 2020 through the end of March 2021. We would now like to recognize our new board members, those board members that have been reelected, and our outgoing board members. This spring, the following board members were elected: Isi Akanosho, Houston Office Managing Principal, Ernst & Young; Leslie Duke, President and General Manager, Burns & McDonnell, Inc.; Mary Beth Gracie, Houston Office Managing Director, Accenture; Sam Tucker, President, Mustang Cat; Mark Watts, President, The Friedkin Group; Don Wu, President and CEO, Mission Constructors, Inc. We welcome these new board members who will serve a 3-year term through March 31st of 2024. The following members were reappointed to a second 3-year term to serve through March of 2024. Dorothy Abels, David Baker, Amy Cronus, Sandy Johnson, and Ralph Martinez. One member was reappointed for a 2-year extended term through March of 2023, Ryan Lance. And the following members were reappointed for a 1-year extended term through March of 2022, Willie Chang, Rabbi David Lyon, Ron Aron, and Jamie Roots. As we welcome new board members, we also bid farewell to the following outgoing trustees: Neil Duffin, Irma Diaz-Gonzalez, Blake Pounds, and Bill Strait. We thank each of you for your service and hard work. There's no denying that the past year has been tough and unlike any other. As the COVID-19 crisis spread, United Way worked to convene its partners, assess needs, and increase its response effort. All the while, the 211 Texas United Way helpline was connecting our neighbors with help, hope, and reassurance. Governor Abbott called on 211 to be the go-to resource for Texans looking for COVID-19 information, testing sites, basic needs assistance, help with unemployment assistance, and all of the other reliable information people count on from 211. Since the beginning of March 2020, 211 has connected more than 270,000 people in our area to assistance related to COVID-19. And this past year overall, 211 connected 1.4 million people with help, a record and another indication of how important 211 is to our community. In partnership with the Greater Houston Community Foundation, we launched the Greater Houston COVID-19 Recovery Fund in March of 2020, which, thanks to the generosity of so many individuals, corporations, and foundations, raised more than $18 million, all of which was deployed in grants to nonprofits helping some of the most vulnerable neighbors with emergency financial assistance and other critical needs. And this past February, as our community continued to grapple with the pandemic and the economic fallout it created, we faced a devastating winter storm that made a bad situation even worse for so many of our neighbors. We partnered again with the Greater Houston Community Foundation to administer a recovery fund for the city of Houston and Harris County that raised over $16 million. We also worked with long-term recovery committees in Fort Bend, Montgomery, and Waller counties to assess and address the needs in each of those areas. Many of you contributed to those efforts, and I thank you for your support. Crisis really characterized the past year, but we saw some truly inspiring, encouraging, and creative things come out of some of these tough challenges. We saw our partners and programs flex to provide key services and support those in needs in different ways. Thrive trained financial coaches to support clients through a pandemic. 211 helpline specialists provided information and resources to callers from home for the very first time. Youth programs help kids navigate the transition to online learning and help lessen the digital divide by providing access to the needed technology. But we don't have enough time to share examples from each and every program, There is great and meaningful impact happening through United Way Bright Beginnings, out of school time programs, through Mission United, United Way's Veterans Initiative, through basic needs assistance, through programs that serve seniors, those escaping domestic violence, physical and mental health issues, and so much more. None of this work is possible without United Way's partners and the many people and organizations that give their time, talent, and treasure to the United Way of Greater Houston. The community campaign fuels our work, and I would like to thank Chairman Steve Stevens for his leadership and tenacity and for helping us to raise $55.8 million during this year's community campaign. Thank you, Steve. Incredible results. We are also thrilled to have Angel Harris, our new Chief Advancement Officer, leading our development efforts. More to come from Amanda on some of the incredible work she is already doing. Extraordinary companies contributed $1 million or more to our campaign this year. You can see them all in our annual report. We're so grateful for their support. I also want to thank our Alexis de Tocqueville Society members who so generously contributed more than $15.6 million this year. We are also humbled by the generosity of Nancy and Rich Kinder and Charles Butt, whose $1 million gifts increased our reach and impact in really significant ways. 41 other families each contributed $100,000 or more this year, providing powerful leadership and support. Thank you all for your incredible generosity. We also thank our Women's Initiative members who contributed $4.4 million this year, our young leaders who gave $2.4 million, and our Law Initiative, which raised $1.2 million. And we're grateful to many others, our United Way Link members, those who are involved in Stay United, our Impact Circle, Leadership Circle, and Chairman's Club members, foundations, of course, our agency partners, and all of those who give to support our mission. Even as we make progress in moving on from COVID-19 and regaining some sense of normalcy, many in our community are still struggling to get back on their feet, to replace what has been lost, and to build strong, sustainable futures. Thanks to you, the United Way is here to support them in their efforts. We have big, exciting plans ahead, and the United Way's president and CEO, Amanda McMillian, is here to tell you more about them. Before I hand it over to Amanda, I did want to mention that she has just celebrated her one-year anniversary as president and CEO. I think we all know her first year has been challenging in many ways. We've been fundraising for and helping our community recover from 2 disasters. We ran a virtual campaign, and just about everything looked different this year. But Amanda has handled it all with grace and done an incredible job leading United Way through the challenges and making sure we're in a position to launch our second century vision. We're so fortunate to have her at the helm. Amanda?
Thank you, Armando. And thanks to all of you for everything you did to make the past year, my first year as president and CEO, one for the books. As Armando said, while we continue to support our neighbors working to recover from the pandemic and winter storm, we are also working to implement our second century vision, which is the strategic vision that will guide our work and our investments moving forward. Our vision for our second century of service is to create the opportunity for individuals and family in the greater Houston community to thrive. Guided by research and data, United Way will focus on and invest in high-quality programs focused on serving ALICE, which, as many of you know already, means asset-limited, income-constrained employed, and those living below the federal poverty level, a group which collectively makes up 47% of our population in the greater Houston area, and which has likely grown due to the events of the last 14 months. Our strategy aims to provide families the opportunity to attain a sustainable quality of living through the following: financial stability programs that are supported by early childhood and youth development through out-of-school educational opportunities, access to healthcare with a focus on behavioral health, and of course, safety net services, which includes things like food, housing, and other critical needs such as refugee assistance and freedom from violent situations like domestic abuse and human trafficking. A critical success factor for our second century vision is an integrated client journey that allows clients to create their own customized pathway based on their goals and needs. Rather than working separately to address individual needs, programs will be coordinated to make it easy for clients to engage across services as needed. This integrated client journey will operate across 13 priority regions within Fort Bend, Harris, Montgomery, and Waller counties. The regions have been determined based on the density of the population living below the ALICE threshold and the density of Black, Indigenous, and people of color who have historically been disproportionately impacted. As we work to ensure diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging, we will evaluate all potential investments moving forward on how they incorporate diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging into their policies, practices, and client service delivery. Much planning and work has been done to prepare for the launch of our second century vision. A lot of time and thoughtfulness has gone into what each detail of the vision looks like, into determining alignment criteria, into working with partners, stakeholders, donors, and the community at large as plans have progressed. I'm thrilled to tell you that we had a funding conference at the beginning of April, and we had more than 600 people from a variety of organizations attend to learn more about our strategy and funding opportunities. The funding application opened right after that conference, and applications for funding are due in just a couple of weeks. We have recruited a great group of volunteers who represent geographic areas, race and ethnicities, companies, and other important perspectives. They will spend a lot of time carefully reviewing applications and making investment recommendations. And then for the end of this year or the very beginning of next, our new funding announcements will be made, and we will officially embark on this new transformational direction. To say we are excited would definitely be an understatement. Many of you have been along with us on this journey for several years, and thank you for that. We know that our new direction requires additional resources, and we are thrilled to have Angel Harris, our new Chief Advancement Officer, leading that charge. Under Angel's leadership, our donor relations and brand teams are focused on stabilizing, redefining, and growing through a few key strategies. Succinctly communicating our second century vision, which will include refreshing our messaging and creative to make sure we are connecting and resonating with our community. Redesigning the United Way website to be the resource and information hub for donors, the nonprofit community, partners, community stakeholders, and those seeking help and hope. Transforming our donor model to increase revenue with a strong foundation of data and analytics, including launching a centennial fundraising campaign as we celebrate our 100th year of impact in the community next August of 2022. Engaging diverse markets, beginning with the African American, Hispanic, and Asian American Pacific Islander communities. Building our relationships with foundations to support our work. Growing our individual donors, offering an enhanced technology platform, and continuing to build upon our workplace relationships that provide critical foundational support in all we do. We are so excited about the year ahead and about working with all of you to lift up our neighbors and our community in even more meaningful, long-lasting ways. Thank you for all you do for United Way and for our community. I hope to see you soon. And now I will turn it back to Armando to present the Chairman's Award. Armando?
Thank you, Amanda. It's not every year that United Way presents a Chairman's Award to a board member for outstanding service. But this year, John Gremp has gone above and beyond expectations to earn this honor. John has been instrumental in guiding our work to implement our second century vision. His leadership, thoughtfulness, and tireless work have helped ensure we can step forward and execute our vision with care and confidence. John, thank you for all of the energy and leadership you poured into this work. Our United Way and our community owe you a debt of gratitude, and it is my honor to present you with this year's Chairman's Award. Thank you, John. And now, please welcome last year's Volunteer of the Year, Stephen Fraga, to present this year's award.
Thank you, Armando. United Way of Greater Houston's Robert W. Kneebone Volunteer of the Year Award is a tremendous honor and I am thrilled to present this year's award to a wonderful leader, Steve Stevens. Steve led the way through one of the most challenging campaigns most of us can remember. As you all know, we faced two major disasters this year, a global pandemic and a winter storm, plus an economic loss, continued troubles in the energy sector, historic job loss, and a host of other challenges. Steve's leadership was essential to the United Way, not only going through those challenges, but to finding creative ways to make the most of them, like giving the campaign a boost by hanging a huge banner from the Amegy Bank building, encouraging everyone passing on 610 to support the United Way this year. This was a challenging year by every measure, and especially in terms of fundraising. Steve was undeterred. He spent countless hours on the phone and on Zoom, sharing the message that in tough times, investing in our community through the United Way is more important than ever. And even as the pandemic and then the winter storm called on us to support our neighbors through those crises, Steve made the case to everyone who would listen to also support the United Way's everyday work that they do to help people meet the most critical needs and then get them on a pathway to financial stability and reaching their goals and dreams. He inspired people to get involved and implore those who were able to give to help lift up our neighbors and our community. Steve did it all with the kind of passion that keeps you pushing through even the toughest challenges. If you had the pleasure of working with Steve this year, you know that he is genuine and disarming. He makes everyone he talks to feel like a valuable member of the team. Steve is a true champion for the United Way and has worked tirelessly to ensure that the United Way is able to carry on its mission to create opportunities for people in our community to thrive. He is down to earth, thoughtful, and extremely tenacious, a combination that was critical to this year's campaign. We have put together a short video to recognize Steve. Please take a look and enjoy. Steve, you are a remarkable person and a tremendous leader. Our neighbors in our region are better and stronger because of you. Thank you for all you do. It is my honor to work with you and to present you with the 2021 Robert W. Kneebone Award. Congratulations.
Thank you, Stephen. I sincerely appreciate the recognition. Needless to say, the campaign was like none other, and all of us were a bit more humbled by the many challenges. The good news is that the United Way has been strengthened through this crisis. When you encounter such a complexity of issues in a community like ours, you inevitably will increase your appreciation for the depth and breadth of an organization like United Way. Even though I've supported United Way for over 40 years, when you spend time in the engine room, your commitment is validated. I was regularly supported and encouraged by the many board members, staff, and donors. It was evident that both the challenges and the United Way family was bigger than any one of us. I am thankful for the good advice of many of you like Dorothy Abels and Jamie Roots. I recall a conversation with former campaign chair Lynn Librato, and she told me, Steve, you just got to keep each call personal. But then, of course, the virtual world took over. But at the end, just making the case for support of United Way is all that each of us can do. Lastly, while the needs continue to grow and are dynamic, the best days are ahead for United Way. I have been energized by Amanda's collaborative leadership. Angel has been a boost we needed in development. And the second century vision improves and strengthens. We have planted seeds for growth, and I encourage all of us to remain committed to sow the seeds for United Way and community success. Thank you again for this prestigious award.
Congratulations, Steve. It is an honor to know and work with you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for our virtual annual meeting today and for all you do for the United Way of Greater Houston and our community every day. We look forward to seeing you soon. The meeting is now adjourned.